Wow. Yeah, the Discord thing is stuck. What? Oh, it loaded. Uh, okay. Everything is as per usual, except for the fact that I feel kind of sick for some reason. Like the nausea kind of sick. Hopefully it goes away after a while. Hello, George. I'm getting my brain restarted. Very goo goo gaga. Yeah, I just feel a little bit unwell. But everything else is fine. I'm just gonna let it pass. It happens once in a while. It's kind of hard to. I mean, it's not hard to predict and guess why I might be feeling the way I feel. This schedule is still kind of insane. But it's okay. It'll go away in a bit. Which one did I go in? I think I went in one of these ones. I don't know where I got out for the station, but I got out and I think I might have gotten out around here. Is there an exit here? Yeah, but so the Cantonese in Hong Kong, like the people here, you know, discriminate is a strong word, but they can tell if you're local speaking or you're like from like mainland China speaking, and they may or may not be some form of difference in treatment as a result of this difference. I don't know what the history of that is. Like, I'm not trying to. It's not necessarily political, but it's more just so that, you know, same dialect, a slight difference in not necessarily. So you see, racist is a strong word. I'm trying to be as tactful as possible. The truth of the matter is I don't really understand the exact extent of this sort of difference in treatment, right? But like it's less of where they're from, it's just the way you're speaking the language, right? And of course, like where you're from heavily influences how you speak the language. So by virtue of the fact that the judgment is based on something that's very much related to where you're from, right? It is very likely stemmed from your place of origin, right? In terms of that difference in treatment. But because I don't know the full extent of it, it's kind of hard for me to talk about it accurately. But regardless, it is a thing that does happen. But so like to some extent, right? Like unless you speak local Cantonese, right? Unless you sound like a local, it might actually be in your favor to speak English instead, because they just kind of lump all the English-speaking people together, because there's a lot of internationals here, right? And they might just see you as some expat foreigner rather than like a... I think I went in one of these paths. I'm pretty sure I came in this way, because I'm trying to figure out. There's a really famous photo somewhere here, I think. I think like from this angle here, like that I have seen before, like of like this face of the building. I don't know if it's from this side of the road or from the other side of the road, but there is a famous photo that I think I've seen. But maybe it's not in this building, because I'm sure there's a lot of these. But yeah, this entire block, by the way, this entire block is continuous. And like, I don't know if you guys, if you know, like George, about the Kowloon Walled City. So this is a really famous, this is the most famous example of this cluster. And this cluster of buildings no longer exists. This cluster was actually torn down before I was even born, I think. But I think it was like 91 or something when it got torn down. But this thing is basically like this nonsense here. Again, I'm using the word nonsense very loosely here. Not to pass judgment, just as like a funny word. But like, it's only like this big. This entire thing, like compared to the monster building would have only been about this big, I think. So it's massive. And this entire thing is kind of like this, where there is almost no breaks between the buildings. It's just all kind of joined together into one mess. In reality, of course, it's not actually one building. It is like many decades of people building in here without a permit, without caring about safety, fire hazards. It's possible to live your whole life in here without ever seeing the sun. It's very, to me, it's very cool, obviously, but like to everybody that was there, you know, this is born out of, to some extent, necessity. The reason why it happened like this within this wall, like why everyone wants to be here, is because it's kind of hard to control for government. So, you know, gangs and triads and like you know, people without licenses practicing medicine and stuff like that. You know, like people just come here to make a living because it's easier. As long as you follow the rules within the walls. This is one of the places that would have been really cool to check out in real life, but obviously it's impossible to check out in real life unless you know a local and you don't look like a foreigner as well, because it's a good chance you go in and you don't come out. You know, if you don't know where you're going, you might end up in the wrong places. Of course, not to say that the people in there are all problematic, right? But it's just one of those places, you know, like you're not gonna be able to go in unless you're a local to the walls, by the way, not even local to Hong Kong, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure I went down this way now. Entry, yeah, but dang, the subtitle knows I'm coughing. That's kind of insane, broski. I feel slightly better, I think. I think a lot of these sort of me not feeling well is because my body isn't like, it's a lot of sleeping and waking and sleeping and waking and sleeping and waking, and it's throwing my body into this loop of like never knowing when I'm awake and asleep. I lie down on the bed, it takes a long time to sleep. I get up, it takes a long time to wake up. So sometimes it's just a little bit too much. Anyways, what I'm trying to do here is, I guess I wanted to establish the entry point, but I'm not 100% sure where the entry is. I might have gotten out on this, like this station here, or I might have gotten out this station here. I don't know which one I did, but regardless, I think gonna end up here. And then there's like the back path here. This back path is interesting, I think, because I think one of the sides was blocked off. I think this side had like a green gate when I was there. This is January 2026. Maybe like the older photo, maybe it got taken off, but like I'm pretty sure like over here you couldn't just walk through somewhere. Someone here is blocked somehow. That's what I remember. So this is one complex, and then there's like, I guess the other one might be further up. I can't remember. Like one of these guys should be like the stairwell here, but I don't know which one it is. Yo, what the hell is wrong with this navigation thing? It's pushing me all over the place. I think it might be this one, where I took the stairs. I didn't go up this market. I thought this looked kind of cool as well, but ah, man. I need to restart my sequence. Wait, this is January 2024. Do I see the green gate? Yeah, you can see like it's kind of blocked up by something, right? There's like a bunch of junk on this side, on top of the stairs. So when I was there, it was like blocked up like that, and you couldn't actually walk through to the path outside. So I will get down here. So I visited the actual monster building one, the one where people always take photo, which is on behind this building. Then I went to the other courtyard, the sister courtyard, right? The pair. Then I came down the back stairs, and I wanted to check out if I can go through there. I couldn't go through there. And I forgot if I went through this way or I just came back in, and then went out. Yeah, I went back into the other complex and I exited on the side of the road, and then I walked up to all the newer buildings up top. I think that's how it went down. I don't know if I have photos of this part. Sewage systems, right? I wonder too. They have like some photos of like how people live in there, and it's, I mean, it's kind of depressing, but to us, of course, it's just interesting in the sense that like there will be these windows, right, of your apartment where you open up into like these tiny wells of light within the apartment, within the building itself. So imagine you open this window and you don't see anything except other people's walls, but it's like you can see the sky and you can see all the way down to the ground floor, but it's just everyone else's windows and you don't see anything else. And that's kind of interesting. Excuse me. I like the, oh, I even have a photo of the junk at the top of the stairs. I like that over time now of eating my own sort of nonsensical dinners where it's just rice and water and like vegetables all boiled with no condiments and not even oil, right? I don't use oil or salt in my cooking either, if you can call it that. I'm very satisfied with it, honestly. Like the utility of doing something like this, the fact that you don't really have to wash up anything, and that prep is like literally less than 5 minutes. It's so good for me. I've gotten so used to eating it. But I don't know if it's my body rejecting it or what. Sometimes I eat it and I get a little bit sick, even though mentally I feel okay. Which is, I think it's kind of interesting. I would be fine with just like drinking meal replacements, honestly. I would be the type of person that will be okay with that, I think. Oh, don't worry about it. I like lunchtime we will go out and eat, right? And I will get like extra everything, you know, this and that. So, but the thing I found very ironic is that people like my coworkers like to call, like, not necessarily ridicule, right? Like, but they do make fun of it. But then I asked around and realized they don't even cook. They don't even cook. I mean, sure, they're eating better, but they're not even cooking. I'm like, yeah, so do you guys like cook at home? Like, because they are married. It's like, no, we buy takeout. Sometimes my wife cooks. I'm like, okay, great. You know, you're free to ridicule me, but like it's you know, why don't you cook? Ooh. But anyways, I think it's kind of interesting. Oh man, I don't have a good idea of what I want to do here. Alright, sequence call. I need to... For the most part, everything is kind of stabilized at this point. Calling in. The windows sound interesting? Oh. I'm I'm sure there's a lot of cases. If you go to like older, well, sorry, if you go to like where my grandma lives, and like a lot of these Chinese cities, if you look at some of the older apartment blocks, all of them have like a set of grates and like metal cages around their balcony, around their windows and stuff like that. Is because like in the past, like theft is very rampant. The newer buildings don't have it, but the older ones do. And I remember my grandma's house. I would used to be like a tiny kid, like a very tiny kid. I would sit on those grates, so I'll be dangling above the streets, right? And I'll just look out and be a kid, I guess. Oh yeah, people climb the building, like, you know, in most parts of the world. I don't think like in most parts of the world has really progressed. Like, I'm not trying to say that people are still trying to steal, but like I feel like a lot of places out there, the majority of humanity is still not necessarily enjoying a lot of the niceties, the nice amenities and stuff. A lot of people, like, survival is still kind of insane. And people like to criticize, right? They like to criticize and be like, oh shit, look at them eating bugs and stuff. You know? But like, yeah, look at them stealing, look at them being so cutthroat. But like, if they don't do that, like, they wouldn't have been there in the first place, right? Like, I think, yeah, like I see a lot of those posts like saying like how like maybe people from certain countries are less refined, and you know, like they get a little bit more this and that. But that's just the nature of like how they grew up. Like if they weren't like that, they might not even have made it as far as they did in life. So you can't really blame them. Not to say that they shouldn't change though, you know, like if you're in Rome, you probably want to go to the communal place and share the communal butt wipe thing. But anyway, yeah, a lot of these things are disagreeable, but like, it's problematic. Everything is difficult surrounding New. I don't really know what I want to do here because I'm not really in the right headspace to do this journey thing. I have to be back in that specific moment. I have to see that specific path. I have to be in those shoes and carry that bag and then walk up and down the streets again. It's but it's kind of interesting though. Like, I'm just kind of ranting on here, but I feel like the whole reason for doing art was because in the past I felt all these feelings and like saw those worlds and scenes and stuff that I wanted to draw, places that I've never been, but I felt like I'd have. And for the good part of my life, I feel like that feeling's kind of gone. Right? Like it's really hard to recall what exactly happened. It's really hard to remember some of these inspirations that I've had. The map doesn't say what this building is. This building looks very weird. Wait, what? Wait, no, this is the wrong spot. But I feel like maybe on like in the journey, like when I was here and stuff like that. Oh, maybe it's this pump. It felt maybe magical, I suppose, but also like right now as we're reliving this journey and like trying to put stuff on paper here, it also feels kind of magical. What am I saying here, actually? What am I saying here? I think what I'm saying here is, I suppose by virtue of doing this and by virtue of spending this much time and putting them in the scene, like the characters, and then giving them like all their personality and transformations throughout the journey, it makes it feel like they are truly alive, and it makes it feel like I'm actually doing what I wanted to do in the first place. And that in and of itself is also kind of magical, I suppose. I don't know. It's really weird. Sorry, George. Yeah, it's very weird. I don't know how to describe this, right? Like this journey that I want to do with art and everything, it's inherently has to be very lonely, because that is how That is where all the inspiration came from. That is the original purpose for doing anything and everything at all. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like it. It both feels like it and both doesn't feel like it. I don't know, like, it's weird. I might be going insane. Where I went to play. I don't think I played a lot outdoors in the past. Most of my childhood, I think, was in MapleStory. But MapleStory was a... It's also a bit of a blur. I mean, MapleStory's gameplay loop is basically just grinding, right? You press the same buttons over and over for hours on end. That's kind of it. Wow, look at this place. This place looks kind of sick. You have like newest of the new and then like the oldest of the old, literally right next to each other. They're tall. You go in, you don't see like a way out. It's like... Oh man, it's like one of those Western, like, developed communities where you have like the same sort of suburban house, right? Those isolated individual houses, but like it goes on for like hundreds and miles, like of like 20 different lanes, and it's all the same, but except it's like big buildings. You come in and you're like lost in this concrete jungle, this actual like isolated piece of jungle here. I don't know, like people feel like... I wonder if like people over here would think that this is hell. Oh, for me, like, this is like some of the nicest place I've ever seen. I wouldn't really want to be here if there's a disaster or anything, right? There's like everybody trying to get the fuck out on this like 2-lane road. I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know, 10% of people are gonna get stomped to death. That is not a comment on people's morals and how cultured they are and this and that. Just in general, I feel like this is gonna be chaos here. Car part in the middle. I want to be on top, but no one's taken any photos on top. No, they did. Never mind, I lied. Let me up. Stupid ass Google, get me up. Also, like, 100% Big Brother and everybody's listening into my streams because I keep getting stuff on Reddit now talking about Hong Kong. So, hello Google AI, I see you. I know you're listening in. Holy shit, this place would be so fucking pog, dude. Yeah, I would love to have like Ria standing here looking up, and then like the camera would be like a guy walking around the entire playground. Just going around a 360. Camera is always focused on Ria, and the background would be all these buildings, right? They will constantly be shifting like that. And then Ria will be in the middle, and then you can see like the playground turning around as well. And she herself would be static, right? But you can see that she's surrounded. Man. Yeah, I don't really know. Like, there's no strong emotions like here and there right now. But I still have to be able to work here. No, I did not. Like, there wasn't any time. Like, I don't know why I decided not to go here. I think it's because it's, yeah, like you said, it's like a mountain. I think this place probably is pretty undeveloped. Yeah, pretty much, right? It's just tracks and trails and this and that. And then I didn't want to risk going up there when the sun is really setting. It's a lot nicer than I expected already. But as you can see, like, you don't see shit, right? Even at the top of the mountain. It's all foliage and this and that. You have to find like these dedicated spots. Never mind. Excuse me. Never mind. View compass? Is this a spot? Kind of? Too bad Hong Kong's so damn expensive, and you know, like, one of these flats is gonna run you like your basically entire life's fortune. Because I would love to be like a resident up there, right? And as pain in the ass as it is to get up every day and go down, but like, yeah, like, look at that. Okay, look at what the fuck is this? I don't know what this is. A black hole or something, but It'll be so insane, like, if your Windows view is just the entire city. Like, this is the entirety of Hong Kong over here, right? And you're just, like, over here. And you're, like, in one of these buildings. Do they have any photos here, perhaps? Yeah, like that. Okay, this is a drone shot. Okay, this doesn't count, but... I think... Where's that university? It should be kind of easy to spot because they have like a weird ass set of buildings. I think like these guys here. Yeah. Is it? Oh, yeah, I think this is the university building. Along with these guys. Oh, it's over here. This is the one that's weird. So, going up the path, going up the thing. So you'll be here. So these are the buildings that I was talking about. Imagine like owning a penthouse here. Holy shit, dude. You'll look over the entire city from your penthouse. Well, next life, I suppose. Gotta be born pretty rich here. Dang, I just spent like 30 minutes doing jack shit. I guess it is kind of like the downside of this thing that I want to do. It is nice that it's very strong emotionally, but like that would also mean that like on days where it doesn't resonate as strongly, it becomes a little bit harder to do because like I'm comparing to the moments where I felt really connected, right? And because that is so strong, that inherently you're gonna have like times where you don't feel that strong, and then because you don't feel that strong, it feels like you're maybe not as in tune and maybe not drawing as accurately, and that inherently makes it feel a little bit worse. But yeah, good skill issue. Pretty much skill issue, I think. Plays magical to me when I like you're saying like the place that you grew up felt small when you were small. Oh, it just felt magical when you were small. Oh, I see. Maybe you're saying that as a kid it felt magical, but now after growing up it feels small. Oh, I see. There's a very emotional composition there, right? Like you can... It's like one of those fixed camera kind of scenes, right? Like where the camera doesn't change the environment, like the perspective, the specific setup of the camera doesn't change, but then the character would change. A smaller version of the character, and then a more grown-up version of the character holding like maybe a toy that you used to play with, you know, the same props. Oh, I know why this is the active key. I see. It could be sad, it could be magical. It depends, I think, on like Oh, I see. Let me hang on a second. What the? Did I? What? Dang. I'm listening to Loop Back's OST on loop because it is very... It's the strongest trigger I've had like recently. I found it by chance and it's from an artist that like... I think if I play it, I'll probably knock the stream out. Like the stream will probably get knocked, like get taken off or like blocked in the archive, which I don't want it to be because we are actually planning something that I want to have recorded. So unfortunately I cannot be in sync, but if you guys do want to hear that, I can just mute music instead. You guys can listen to that instead, and they will be in sync somewhat. I want to have like the scene of people going up the stairs. Let me see. Yeah, Ria is weird. Toyota Crown. Is that right? Lady says no, target 4. Indeed. Yeah, the music may be a bit too strong. Holy shit. I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed here. I don't know like how many like if people can relate to this. I'm sure there are people that are like this. And like I don't know like this for all intents and purposes, right? Like I don't think this is normal for sure. Like the way that I experience the world, I think it's a little bit abnormal and like the maybe the sad kind of way. Because for most people, I don't know, maybe the memories and stuff and what they want to remember and immortalize is more sort of with people, you know, like with people, with actual people and real connections. But to me, it felt like I've lived a lifetime with my characters, even though I know that that was not the case, even though I don't have any memories of the sword. But it feels really weird, like thinking of like some of these scenes and stuff, because it feels like oh man, it feels like what? It feels like there has been this journey that I've gone through with people that I've met, that I've enjoyed the company of, but then everyone's gone now. Everyone's gone somewhere. Whether if they're physically gone or if they're dead, like one or the other. But the whole goal is that you know that it's never gonna come back. That's kind of how it feels like. There is that sort of bittersweet feeling of knowing that, you know, it's nice that you've experienced it once, because that, but then also knowing that it's never, nothing ever is gonna top that. That's kind of the vibes I'm getting right now. And of course, like, you know, topping that or not, no guarantees, right? You can always find new experiences and stuff, and I'm sure I would have, as long as I keep looking. But right now, this instance, I don't know. It's gonna take some time, huh? It's gonna take some time. I hope the scenes are all readable, because it's kind of hard to know if it's readable to anyone else, just because I see the reference in front of me, right? But it's also okay if it's not readable, because eventually it will be, hopefully. Indeed. So this is one of those where I am kind of taking over comp, right? Sorry, I'm taking over the what's the word? The perspective and stuff, because I'm doing a custom comp. So I don't actually know if I'm laying out the stuff and everything correctly and well. But the idea is that it's the sidewalk where everyone's kind of on. Probably needs a little bit more curve. Let's do it like that. Can justify this by being on the road. I have a lot of problems I have to sort out, I think. Comp and stuff we're gonna have to review. It's man, this is quite the project that I've undertaken. Yeah, I see. Skill issue. My fucking god, dude. A lot of skill issue. I wanted that scene because it was interesting in the sense that like you have like kind of modern materials and design, right? Against like just a literal rock. Right? And then you have the path and this and that going up. And then at the top of this path was where I found out that it was a dead end, right? So you go all the way up and you realize that hey, this is all you've got. And like I was willing, so I'm guessing, right? Like surely if you go through here, there'll be like an exit somewhere out the other side, you know, like these are the buildings. I'm sure somewhere here there's like a path that lets you through and this and that. But it's a gated community, so actually looking at the map, there might not even be a path here. But there is a path here, right? So if these buildings, this complex is the same one, then surely there should be a path going up here. But this is gated, so there are no photos here. What the fuck is this? Yeah, I guess this just goes down. Very scary looking gates and stuff, but so that's why we turn back. So I had to turn back down. So I would like to see that this turning back, right? This dead end. I would like to. Oh. Where am I? Oh, this is really pog, dude. Dang, look at all these places, man, that I can never. Can I go here? I don't think so. It's like very inaccessible. Oh, it's just behind these walls? Unless the photos are not in the right spot, so I don't actually know. But yeah, I want to have like a thing here, but it doesn't really show that it's the same place. You know what I mean? Like it's not. Wait, are you the lady that I talked to? Because it is January 2024. It is the right month. But in any case, because the path, the recognizable part, is like stops all the way over here, right? But maybe I can do more scenes too, because like getting people involved, getting the viewers more invested in this journey, right? Make them like the whole idea of a dead end is to have that sort of dip in your dopamine, not necessarily dopamine, but like to make it feel like you're progressing and then you got stuck, right? So having multiple pictures in the series and then realizing you have to double back. That might be able to like convey some of the emotions a little bit more accurately because the viewer is also kind of feeling it now. But the problem is, how do I... How do I make it look like it's consistent, right? Because you need to have some kind of a landmark from the previous one. Actually, the only landmark we have would be these pillars. It would be just these pillars over here. So if we have only these pillars, then that's all we have to work with. The best we can do might be like over here. Say, for example, I was on the right side of the road though. But if I can take a scene like this... Oh, maybe like right here. Maybe right here is... shit, they don't have a specific spot for me to stand, but you can see the ones before, the pillar before. And then as well as the final part where we got stuck, right? So this is an interesting spot. You have like some nice curve as well. Maybe that would be a noise comp. Move this over here. Oh my god. Windows is trying to stick the thing to the top of the screen. Can you not? Kind of hard to draw though. So, oh my god. How do I do this? So I need the top, I need the bottom, I need them to be joined. I need the path to come up here somewhere. Alright, so this has to come towards me more. So this has to go like there, perhaps. And then like it should hint at a bit of a turn, perhaps. And then this will bridge in that side of the road. And the markings will be coming towards us, opening up, going in, maybe even off screen even. Come back in. No way I'm drawing any of these without photos. Holy shit, it's so hard. Oh. Ah, man. Mayhaps, yeah, mayhaps. One day we can. Tomato. Tomato. Oh god. This is a skill check and a half, bro. Even if I am copying from the thing, just you're gonna have to start pushing things around here and there. Oh boy. Sure, it'll be fine, right? Sure, we'll find a way. But this should be, I think this is probably what I want to draw then. I think I'll travel and then... Oh, okay. This is not enough space. I'll travel and then we take photos and I'll bring Ria and the gang around the world. And then through the interactions they have with each other, with the environment, can show like the personality. And they'll be anchored into the real world, right? So it's, even though like they haven't physically been there, but like if you go to the real world and you see like the actual places that we draw and stuff like that, it will add the additional dimension to all these ideas and stuff. We might have to do a 21 by 7. 21 by 7? 21 by 9? I might have to stretch this up, because this is not enough space for the amount of details here. Is there really a need for me to draw those? It's always my question, because I'm not against using photos and just like using them directly like this, right? Is there any meaning in me having to draw it when I'm just literally copying photos anyways? I think that's why like stylization, the rendering has to be tied down. So if I can tie it down, then we can add more value by painting it. But if it's just trying to be realistic, then it's just a waste of time. Right. It's just dark. No, that part is just black. Let's see. Yeah. If I can. Whoa, what the? Oh, that was weird. No, it's still kind of weird. Hang on. Oh, wait, my resolution is kind of fucked. What the? What? Well, for a second there, I don't know if it showed on screen, but for a second there, I guess the mapping of the pixels on the screen was wrong. So it felt like I was zoomed in onto like the application or something, you know. So when I moved my mouse and my tablet pen, it was moving in a different spot than where I was actually moving it on the tablet. That was so weird. So trippy. Another block and 2 more is over here. Symmetrical. Then it goes this way and then it goes this way slightly. Oh, you know what I should be doing? I should have been right. I need to document this anyways. I should have been taking screenshots and then putting it in here, so you guys know what I'm looking at, and I can document it because I have to have this exact angle. But that makes more sense. This is what I'm working with here. It also documents a little bit of how much exactly am I copying here. I do have to figure out some of these shots. I have to put the characters here and there as well. So Faye is gonna be like all the way tiny in the back here. Because even though we just started, she's gonna be heaving. Pretty sure she's just like dying already in the back. Something like that. We have like some trees here. Just why not? It's always trees. I get the illustration is, you know, like it's hard to do. You can do like one scene and then you just kind of maybe use words to fill in the blank, or just not fill in the blank and let people just kind of guess at what happened, you know, and do their own interpretation and stuff. But ideally, I would like this journey to be very traceable. It's kind of part of why I want to do it. So rather than having people guess, I wanted to be like, yeah, okay, you know what? I can see the next scene's building from this scene. Oh, that's where they went, right? That's how they walked up there. That was the exact path and what everyone was doing on that path. So I think for us, that is a hard requirement. So these railings here, they exist in this photo, but I may have to remove them because they are kind of blocking the right side. Sorry, the left side. This is a bit too aggressive. Maybe this would imply that this is more aggressive here. So I need to know where people are. So Faye is in the back. There's more trees here. Yeah, it's just endless buildings here. Like, holy shit, it's like never-ending buildings. I'm gonna get so sick of drawing squares, I swear. Is that a truck? Oh, is that a random gray square there? I don't know what that is, but Faye is gonna be here. I need more space in the foreground. It would just be people's heads, I'm sure. Alright, I'm gonna go to the toilet. I'll be right back. Oh. Oh. Very nice, Google Gaga. Start. Start. Okay. Yeah, what is the interesting plant, right? Yes, good night, George. Thank you, George. We don't know about that. Potential issue? No, I did cross the road because there's construction on the other side. Yeah, this does include it, I suppose. I just take out all the trucks. Oh. Do I have a photo for this? Where's my photos? Do I not? I should have. I should have it. Oh, this one. Oh, wow. I see. Oh, interesting. Oh, I don't have one at the top, I see. What do I do here? I want to show that we got stuck. Right. Okay, let me see. Do this target first. That is true. Eye level, right? Eye level is kind of high. This is not very relatable. Eye level is kind of high. Eye level should be lower. I think, right, so let me check. So this is one of the earlier dead ends, I'm pretty sure. This is the first one, actually. So that's interesting. So the idea here is that we show that we're going up this path, right? We show we're going up this path, and we're kind of committed, and we're hoping that it can bring us up the mountain, like up the hill. And we have multiple pieces here, trying to sort of set up that amount of work, right? Because for the viewer, we're just gonna be looking at illustrations, but it's still gonna be multiple pieces, right? You feel like you're on this journey, and then all of a sudden it comes to the an end, a dead end. So hopefully it sort of conveys the idea, like that sort of feeling that I felt a little bit better that way. And the idea is at the end here, Faye will just get angry with me because she's like, "What the fuck? This is a dead end. I climb all this way out for nothing, right?" So she's gonna be all the way at the end here. She's gonna be so slow. Of like Ria is gonna be up front already. I'm gonna be here somewhere. Either me or like my fox is gonna be here somewhere, I think. But then right, and then at the end we hit the dead end, and she's like, "Holy shit! I climb all this way up for nothing," and then she's strangling me here. And then we have Ria being like, "Don't care." Ria's just gonna run back down. And then like my fox can be the mediator or something. Like she's kind of like, "Holy shit, you guys gotta chill out." Also like she's already be running away, right? And there's a lot of maybe not that many interesting things, but the interesting thing here would be to try to show progression with using these pillars here. So these pillars connect to here, and then hopefully in this scene we have the red stuff here, which will be connected to here. So we can see that we are progressing up this pathway, and because of the curvature and because of the length, the time it takes, right, the number of pieces here, hopefully it conveys the distance and height that was climbed. And then the other interesting thing would be this is still the first dead end, and Faye is not gonna enjoy dead ends a lot at all. And she still has energy here to strangle me, because like as we go along here and get more and more dead ends, I think she's gonna run out of juice. And then we can see the transformation across the character as well. I think that would be interesting. That would be the setup here. Where okay. There might need to be one more then. I think like at the base of the thing. When we first started the climb. Where did it even come from actually? Oh. I guess that's it. Let me think, right? So ideally, you're portraying like the scene from like 1 to 2 to 3. And then you have like the important ones here, right? But you also have the transitions here. But I think doing so will make it really, really hard because it means going all the way to 20 or 20 plus, like 30 or something. There will be a lot of these transition stuff in between. So maybe instead of doing that, we might be grouping them. So in between certain groups here, there might be like a big gap where I might have to... Hopefully, people will just understand that we're on the same path. Like, I'm gonna present the map anyways. Yeah, because otherwise, like, drawing 3 pieces for this one scene here, that's already kind of insane. The only way that that could work would be like what we did today, where I just kind of do like a quick sketch. Hopefully it's tied down already by a photo, where the perspectives and stuff, I don't have to worry about it going all wrong and wonky. Then we can do some more like sort of these paintings. Because I'll just be drawing very rough lines and putting in very rough colors. But if you're rendering shit out, that would be kind of insane. So my version of this fact is there's probably not going to be a lot of straight lines, I think. Not very intentional straight lines, perhaps, because then it forces the quality to go up really high all of a sudden. Over the like, don't know, like the 40 pieces at this rate, I'll probably get better near the end. So there might be a very visually distinct change. But if that's the case, it is what it is. It's natural, I suppose. Yeah, that'll be fine, I guess. So we go back down here. And then we're on this path, right? And on this path, I didn't remember, there was like nothing of note for myself. But I'm wondering if there's any shops here that might catch like people's eyes, you know? These are all properties. One Korean restaurant. This looks like a Chinese restaurant, perhaps. Are these snacks? Like a bakery. More food. I don't know what this is. Oh. So over here, I think I'm just gonna find like the most interesting one here, which might be just this building, and then we'll set up the front view transitional sequence here, the repeated motif for this. So going left, going right, and so on and so forth, back and forth like that. 4 into 4. 4 into 5, right? 4 into 5. Because 5 is where? 5 is right here, so 4 into 5 makes sense here. Boy. So despite this thing being like kind of trying to show them moving left to right and stuff, we're still doing a portrait just because I want to show the building. I think that's what's interesting here. Although the scaling, I think I need to have to keep consistent here. That would be a little bit trickier. Oops. The actual final version, I think it'll depend on how we feel about some of these. Is that in the middle of the building? Oh, let me think about this then. I don't really want this circle to be right smack in the middle, but I guess we could. If we center upon this building, I guess we could. So scaling to people's sizes is only about this big, it feels like. These things are not centered either, the mouth. Of course not. Oh man, scaling is gonna be hard. Let me just do a math real quick. So let's see, 1, 2, 2.5. 2.5? There's no way that's that small, right? 1, 2.5. Oh, okay, never mind. It's kind of big. Top of the building. Somewhere here is like the middle thing. Sequence is ending off screen. Okay, that's kind of unfortunate. So it'll look kind of boring here then. Any perspective here though? Horizon is where? Maybe here, I think, eye level. We have to tie all these things down so that they're all consistent across, but for now, I think it's fine. Oops. That's the thing there. Are they through? I'm just gonna push through them. Hard to read for now, but good enough for now. Oh, it'd be nice to see some sky here, actually, if I can just leave some empty space here. But I don't know what this building looks like on above this point. It's like one of those open areas in the middle thing. Oh wait, no, this is huge. These windows are too big. Okay. Transition. People just walk, that would be fine. I might want to put some cars here just because I can. Check scaling. The scaling doesn't feel right. Human how big? Human this big, right? Oh my god, I cannot draw cards? Okay, whatever, dude. Next entry. Let me think. How should I do this? Yeah, having like the journey be always from point of view, I think would be very personalized, very personal. Because it's from the character's point of view. More relatable, I suppose. But then having other shots from like a high angle, like from like the sky, that kind of stuff, might be necessary to establish the environment. I can put like a meme here actually. Like it can be. Or 5. Let me check. Some ideas in my head. I think I can make this work. Let's see. 5 entry. No, let's not worry about that. Let's say. Looks like she's holding a gun. But this makes sense. Can't see shit no more here, right? So. What's that finger pointing meme on the Reddit that I saw before? Oh my god, where is it? I saw the original post for this one too. Before it started taking off. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. I have to be more zoomed out. Maybe like this scale or something. Yeah, this scale will make more sense. Hello, Uni. Got it. I mess up my setup again. God damn it. Where did I put it? Good friend. Continuing our comms today. And if I put in memes like this, it's gonna date the it's gonna date this journey. Or at least when I've drawn it so much. Kinda interesting though. I think it'd be kinda funny if I do though. I'm gonna do it anyways, but I suppose, yeah. Ah, yes, Uni. That's right. There it is. Thank you. Be right there. Oh yeah, it's just a bit too far forward. Unless it's like huge. Spread out. Wait, that got translated? Even though there's an underscore in the thing? Okay, oh, okay, hang on. This translation is insane, dude. The batshit insane translation. What is this? Yadu Nadu into spread out? Oh, what language is this, dude? Oh my god, YouTube. What does it copy from me? There probably is, but... this is so funny. What the hell? Chill out, dude, YouTube. Oh my god. You just know, like, some of these artists, like, absolutely has been accused of being AI. These are so insane. That looks like cake, by the way. Excuse me, this looks like cake. Some kind of pastry on the head. Oh my. Brain no process. So it's kind of line heavy, but because there's like a lot of shapes, the lines are barely noticeable. But lines are everywhere. Not necessarily, but you don't have to get clean lines anymore when you have so much painted details. Kind of melts together. Oh wow. Right. Tryptophobia with the hose. I still don't, yeah, like it's still so hard to sort of appreciate like some of these things despite like grinding art for this long. Because I only now I'm doing like all these scenes and stuff, I realize it's really hard to kind of tell stories well, right? Like for example, if you have characters going up a hill, you need to have elements from one image to the next because it's not a manga to hint at how like the character has moved, right? But like, man, like the designs here as well, like I'm sure there's a lot more than just putting stuff in there. Oh, maybe that's just it? I have no idea, but that's the thing, right? Like, oh my god. Oh, whoops. Misclick. I like the first one more than this for sure. Why is that? I think these areas are like too noisy. It's kind of hard to read. Yeah, like the waves and the hair. Indeed. I think I just don't like small details. I always thought that like, you know, like, okay, so I'm looking at this area here and you have like this really blank piece next to all these tiny details here. And it just feels very weird because in my brain it's like, yeah, like this area is so detailed, but over here there's like nothing. Like it feels like the nothing area is like not yet drawn. Then I'm like wondering, yeah, like I always thought that that's because like the contrast, right? So what if everything was like all very detailed? Then I also don't really like this because we've had one artist, right, in the past, one daily, where it was like details everywhere and that was overwhelming. So I guess I just don't like small details then. So where exactly is that threshold? I think these guys are definitely kind of small for me already. Even the hair here. Yeah, so it's definitely like my, you know, growing up looking at more of the cell shaded kind of stuff rather than actual like illustration pieces, right? More animation type kind of vibe. Yeah, it's definitely like all these are so intentional, right? They are so intentional there to deliver something. Man. Yeah, the style works with flat lighting. Yeah, I cannot imagine. Actually, I didn't realize it was flat. I cannot imagine with I don't think it will. Yeah, it's not possible. Like, how would you? Because with all the shapes in the hair, it almost kind of. Oh yeah, it's kind of insane. But with all the shapes in there, it almost kind of doesn't feel like hair. Or it's like one of those comps where like the shape of that thing is being used as like a window into a different canvas. So then using shadows and stuff wouldn't really make sense. It would just be treated as like a separate space rather than an actual shadow rendering, I suppose. Does it happen here? Not quite. But like, yeah, the darker areas maybe would have been like a opening into a different another space. Yeah, like it kind of looks like that. Is that stairs? Are these stairs or something? What are that? The one of the girl in the white dress is from YouTube. Aliens. Some of the shapes are scenes from the show. Oh, I see. White dress, huh? White dress. It has to be this one, right? Right, thank you. like so much detail everywhere. It's like, oh, hey. Oh, like these? Oh. Oh yeah, like this is. Yeah, like I would never, like, I mean, like, this is, I think this is probably where the T word comes in, the word talent. Like, I don't think, given all the time in the world, given for me to do my streams and like just to do things, I don't know if I'll ever reach something like this. Right? Like, this is someone who's really like, I don't know, like, I don't know where they started from. Maybe, well, like, what kind of progression would get them here, right? Is what I'm thinking. Because like, you have to be so comfortable with what you're expressing, you know, like anything that's like super unique and like can get like really complicated. I just feel like anything that's super unique, perhaps in general, is just artists by expressing that unique idea, but you have to be comfortable enough to show it and to do it. You cannot judge yourself too early. You have to enjoy it, I guess. Because I would never get anywhere close to this. I would never. Right, the beginning stuff is a lot of shade and they took the idea further, I see. Yeah, I would never. I mean, like, even here, I suppose it's kind of broken up. I think I have some pieces in the past, but only because I wasn't sure of what I wanted to do. This is so good though, the water. So like the sort of vibes. You can really see the progression though. That is very cool. Like here makes sense to me, right? These ones would never pass my check. Like, it's just so illogical. I don't know what I'm looking at. It doesn't make a lot of sense at all. And the fact, so both the fact that it's like a bunch of tiny shape and both the fact that, also the fact that it's illogical. I would never let myself do this, and then I would never be able to get, like, all these places that I'll never be able to go. So this would be like intuition, this would be like talent. Works off the jewels, right? It is. I'm just it's not like I feel necessarily. I do feel inferior, I suppose, but it's not necessarily so much about like all the skills and stuff. But just like think of all the things that you never will experience, you know, if not for someone else going down that path. This is kind of what I'm thinking about. It's cool, I guess. You know, I don't really like what I'm seeing, but it's really insane that there are all these things out there. I don't think Twitter would have recommended like this artist to me either, which is kind of funny. Because they only recommend you stuff that you like. I don't think I will ever see this, even if these people are out there. If not for like for you recommending this to Uni. But yes, thank you. I can't really see, but they're saying like they have like the other character in her eyes here, but But yeah, I really like the emotion here. I think the emotion here was always kind of what I felt Ria was like. I might have to hold this, actually. I'm gonna put it in here. Alright, actually, what's the Sayaka one? Did they not do one? They did, I see. I wonder if I show my younger self this and just tell him that, like, you know, like, you don't have to be so logical about everything all the time, you know. I always wonder, like, if I just go back and just try and talk to myself, would it be possible to convince myself or like set myself on the right track or like transfer the knowledge? I don't think it's possible. I think you have to do it and you have to fail and you have to suck at it. Because he would just look at this and be like, yeah, you know, it's great that people like it, but I don't like it, right? So, like, well, what does it mean to me? And then that would be the end of that. But then now I'm like, yeah, people can draw like this, right? And then, Group text to images in Imperial by just clicking on the image and making the note. Oh shit, no way. Like making the note on the thing? Hang on, let me try it here. I know you can kind of like group stuff like this, where if you select one thing and then you do something, it kind of groups it, like, I guess. If you're talking about that. In the past, I had this issue where I would create one node like this, and then I'll copy and paste to keep the font the same size. But because I forgot to deselect the previous one, they all started grouping together and it was kind of annoying. I remember this thing. Dang, how do you even do it now? I have the autopilot now too. What? Doesn't work anymore. What? Anyways, oh, they got rid of the bug. Oh, interesting. Dang, progress. Oh, this is Ado. I thought this was Piquet. I don't know why I thought this is Piquet. Come on. What? That's not Piquet? No way, dude. Same person. 100%, dude. Yeah, Piquet is Ado confirmed. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, but starting over here, it starts to get a little bit like a fever dream. When was this actually? 2022, huh? You know, I wonder how, like, if they got influenced by, like, because the early wave of AI, because of how bad the AI was back then, like, there was a lot of weird psychedelic patterns, and this almost kind of feels like it. I wonder how affected they were by that, or if they cared at all. You know, maybe they just didn't care. They just went where their heart took them. But I guess it's quite different, right? From their perspective, I'm sure like a lot of these patterns and shapes make a lot more sense than us as viewers. Because I'm looking at this and I have no, I don't understand. Like, why these shapes? Why like these legs over here but not over here? You know, like what is the difference here? It probably make a lot more sense to them. So to them, like it would be as clear as night and day, I'm sure. That what the AI's noise is and versus their own. I don't think they would even call this noise, right? Like probably unaffected, then I was saying. Like this here feels so much like it almost. If some of these lines were just a little bit more sort of buzzed out or something, or like erase or something. Anyone? Any people in here accusing them? Dang, dude. Actually, people are very well behaved, but then I guess they do have a long track history of drawing. Do they ever go on like Comic Cat and stuff? It doesn't seem like they post anything like that. Yeah, I like it because they have such a clear progression of style. You can tell when in the journey they drew out these. It's very interesting. But these should be dated anyways, right? No, it's not dated. Huh. Scav doesn't date anything, huh? But yeah, interesting. But yes, thank you, Uni. I'm thinking also like all these artists that I got recommended and become more aware of. When I go back to Japan and like check out all the Comic Cat, I wonder like if there's anything that I can, maybe I can get a book or something and get all of them to sign and be like, hey, hey, I know you because someone recommended me on the stream or something. I was like, oh, can you sign this book? I can collect all of the daily artists, the daily book. If if I had like done like maybe down the line we can do like more of my god, I have so many thoughts running through my head all the time. I'm jumping like 3 steps forwards, but I'm thinking like all these artists, I could make like a short, a YouTube short series of just introducing different artists a day, like, because how do I say this, right? Like anyone could make this idea happen of introducing an artist once a day. But unless you have a community of people sharing ideas and sharing artists and sharing all these people, like, you are gonna be stuck in your own bubble, right? Just like how I was like that artist, I would probably never be able to find, like, because Twitter is not even gonna recommend it to me simply because I just like didn't even like stuff there. It's not like only close to that kind of level. So yeah, I feel like a YouTube series like that would be interesting, and it can only be doable because we have a community here. And the problem though is what am I gonna present, right? Like, what are we gonna talk about? I suppose like in the past, I remember like maybe 100 streams ago by now, I was saying how like the dailies are not very meaningful sometimes because I'm just not in the state of mind, right? I'm not clear-minded enough to talk about anything at all. So it'd be nice to have like a series of metrics, right? A guide of analyzing artists from their style point of view. Hello, Duvet. So we can come up with that, and actually it would tie in pretty well with like the whole my art model thing, right? I have that sort of idea that art is about answering a series of questions. Then if we can find some of those more important questions, then we can try to analyze from those point of view. And it doesn't have to be very deep, I think. It doesn't have to be very deep about like why they are drawing the way they are, or like how I would interpret it necessarily. Maybe how I'll interpret it, but I don't really interpret art that much. I kind of just look at it and get a feel for it, and that's kind of it. I don't really think too hard in between the lines, so it'd be kind of hard for me to do it anyways. So you can just talk about the style and be like, oh yeah, look at like, how focused are they at doing lines? Like, are the lines clean? Are the kind of lines rough? Are they all joined up, or are they kind of opened up? What kind of shapes do they like? What kind of colors do they like? What kind of gamut are they playing around with most of the time? What are they more focused on? What does it feel like maybe to perhaps to paint something like this? Could be interesting. I have to think about it. Also, thank you, Duvet. It is very interesting. Oh, I was here. Who is this? This might be actually kind of relevant for what we're doing here too. Alright, let me just check. What is it that I bookmarked them for? Nothing is getting pinged so far. How often do they draw stuff like this? Like so much. 2025 August. Oh, it's like 2 days per piece. Okay, so they could have been pumping out a lot since I last found them. What could it have been? I have no idea. Probably after these. Actually, how long ago is this? 2024. Look at that, 2024, October 2024. Holy shit, I need to get good. Hello? But yes, sorry, just coming back to this. Let me think. So, the daily book is just an idea debate where, like, because I'm getting so many recommendations from you and Uni and everyone else, that the next time I go to Comiket or Comitea, I'm gonna like see all these artists and be like, oh shit, I recognize you, but you don't know me. And then like I was wondering if there's something I can do, something interesting. I don't know, maybe not necessarily content making, not necessarily trying to make a video or anything, but just the fact that like I feel like, I mean, there's no special connection, not between me and the artist and or anything like that, right? Definitely not from their side. But I just feel like these are all the artists that I've never found if not for you guys, right? So like maybe there's some way to recognize this fact or something to recognize that these artists would not have been on my radar if not for the streams, if not for you guys recommending them. But yeah, like, so maybe get a book and get them to do a sketch or draw, just sign something might be interesting. I don't know. Could be interesting, could be not interesting. But sorry, give me 1 second. I would like to write down. Shit, where did I even write it down? I don't. Do I have it in my VS Code? I think I need to find the project folder. Yeah, the consolidated files. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. Let me just open a notepad and just write down some ideas real quick. I just want to be aware of the fact that we might be able to make it shouldn't be too hard too, right? Like recommending an artist, making a short video for that. We're targeting like maybe like a 60-second, like a quick thing. I can make it once a week in the beginning, and then we can try to slowly ramp up the timing if I want to. But yeah, anyway, sorry. I'm looking at this thing, and I really like it because of the space that it presents. It's like a nice old classroom. Everything looks very kind of, not necessarily rustic, but it is kind of filled with history, perhaps. But then the one thing that caught me is that like this room is so big, right? But all the benches and tables are kind of lined up like parallel like this. It's not very ergonomic. It makes more sense if like they're all kind of facing the middle, I suppose. But then again, the board is kind of this big. I'm just wondering because if it's more ergonomic, right? Maybe it'd be easier to hear the instructor because everyone's facing in one direction. The instructor is always kind of in that area. Whereas in this setup here, the people here would hear, like, it's a lot closer to the people there. But I suppose he's walking up and down. I don't know. Just like some random thoughts that comes to mind immediately, but maybe they have like magic to amplify the voice or something. Actually, what kind of setting is this? Doesn't have too much. How tight is this thing? Ooh, not as tight as I thought. Hopefully we don't get... Isn't it like 2 pairs of binoculars? I thought it was 2 pairs of 2 lenses. Why is there like a gap here? Is that the eye? Maybe that's not the eye. Is that the eye? Feels interesting, relevant. Do they have the bigger version? Oh! This is one of the ping for sure. There might be another one somewhere. I think the thing that stood out to me was this thing of buckets. Buckets? What are these things called again? Baskets? Ah yes, thank you, Uni. I'll see you soon. Have a good night. Yeah, well, this is just a block of color, but it looked pretty good from afar. Ah, right, thank you. Did I post the previous one? Ah, shit. I must have forgotten. Yeah, I absolutely forgot. Did I even put it in the chat? No. Dang, dude. Thank you. My god. Right. Shit. This is Uni's. This is Duvet's. Yeah, what would I even make a video on? Yeah, a lot of this is just painting. Being comfortable with the colors and having that many shapes and this and that, but I'm just wondering when the textures went in, because you see like this stage here, up to this point is mostly just brushing, like just blocking in shapes. There are some tinier shapes, yes, but like here the textures come in, right? All these things come in. I guess the time lapse is always gonna be too fast. But yeah, because I guess I don't really get the textures and what they're trying to do. I mean, they're just trying to add visual interest, but in a piece where there's a lot of stuff already. Anyways, I was just wondering if there's like a specific way that maybe they have added it. But I think time lapses are a little bit too fast anyways to see the specific ordering of the brushstrokes. Wasn't there one just now where... This one. This might be relevant, I think. I'm just gonna hold on to some of this. One of these for... reference... But yes, thank you, Duvet. Ah, shit. 5 sequence and then provide. So I'm just gonna go back to my own nonsense here. Very long journey here, everyone. Park above street level. Yeah, this is a lot more than just one scene. Check. 6. Oh, this is meant to be 7. Dang it. Dang it, dude. I want to have like a scene from like the inside as we're walking in. It's so hard to see it. Oh, I see. Oh wait, this is a wall. So the idea is I'm stepping in, right? And then I'm looking at the sign here. And then it's saying how it's gonna close at like this time and that time, and then there's not much time left. Okay. Right, this one would depend entirely on my own photos here. Yeah, but what do I want to do here? Oh, okay. This is the never-ending staircase. Oh, right, yeah. And another dead end. Yeah, this is great. Let's see. Target is what? Oh. So I want it to be like we're looking through this and at the never-ending set of staircase. And then the stairs begin. Let's see how it goes. Let's fly into the next set. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Check. 1, 2, 3. Ah, right. It should be targeting this. Right. Ah, right. Let's see. Right, and then it turns up this way. Already kind of gaining experience by just doing all these thumbnails because I'm now trying to be as aware as I can of like the landmarks in the scene from one so that we can use it in the next to hint at the next position here without having to draw a bunch of extra stuff. Because the more continuous everything feels, the better, right? But like, I'm not gonna be able to draw everything here. So this would be the framing of it, right? The front will be darker, and then the outside will be brighter. We would have all of these railings and shit over here. This might get pushed a little bit more, then a little bit more space. And then over here is where we see all the high-rise yet again. So bajillion high-rises. Outside, over here you get some trees perhaps. Here is like rocks and stuff. Yeah, I wonder how repetitive things would get. But it is what it happened. Isn't that the point? Oh my god. Did I try the gate actually? I think it was open. It is open. Huh. Yeah, maybe if there's a top down view. The car didn't go up. The guy didn't walk up there. Smart, but I don't have references because of that. Dang it, where was that actually? What the? Oh, it's up here. So it's over here. That's where it was. Yeah, you kind of see shit from up here. You can see kind of like the stairs. This is the stairs. So the street level is there. You climb up 5 stories of stairs first. Then you walk up a bunch more stairs. Probably like another 10 stories up. Somewhere here is the dead end. Yeah, I don't have a good way to look at it. There is no representation of the path. So unless I do some weird trigonometry and I map it out from my own video, it's not a... Oh, aren't there like algorithms nowadays that can look at a video and then figure out the 3-dimensional movement from that? No, I think I'm confusing it with the technique of doing it on purpose, where you're recording and also recording a physical position and then compositing everything together. Right. Yeah, I'm not so sure about what this point is because like this is just like insane stairs, bro. Yeah, I don't think it's possible to see the gate. Wait, hang on. It's actually that big that the gate in the middle is not visible from both sides. It's no good way to show transition of movement here this time. Because it is quite... It is very long this time, yes. Very, very long. Oh, I like this shot of the zoom in. I'm just gonna draw some of these things that look nice in my video here because they're very interesting shots. I'm not trying to glaze myself here. These are all unintentional because they're all part of the video, but it's very interesting, some of these frames, if you pause the video. So like this is the step that's right in front of me, right? But then you can see in the back and you can see this lamppost so you can get a sense of the distance here. And of course, there's the other side of the railings, which actually stop right here for some reason. And then there's like stairs, just like non-stop. Like this is absolutely insane. I remember when I was making the video, it was the first time I started talking to myself on the trip because I was going insane with the number of stairs. There was so much, and it just goes on like off the screen. Like this is stupid. And it makes sense that the park is empty too. Like who does this every day? What am I looking at? Right. The empty space here underneath the stairs, and there's like more stairs here. And like this amount of stairs is probably like at most like a third of the entire thing. At most a third. I wish I can show you guys the video. That's like no good way to show it right now, because it's too big to move via Discord. And Apple doesn't really play nice with just connecting to the phone sometimes. Like the computer, if you connect to Windows and stuff, it doesn't really play very nice. And it's just like the stairs, and then the stairs continue here. And then like all these are just rocks and shit. Trees. And the buildings are over here. But I also kind of want to do it. So the problem here is how dreary is it for the viewer to look at it, right? Because painting is gonna suck no matter what. There's no way about it. But by painting this many pieces of stairs and constantly showing like every single, if let's say I draw 4 pieces, right? It's all stairs, like 80% of the screen is always stairs. It really drives home the point of how dang high this entire stupid place is. And then yet another dead end right at the end. Like this is like the second dead end. Yeah, it's like a second one. I think maybe... Sorry, what? Toilet? No, I'm not going to toilet. Did the subtitle say toilet? I'm just looking at my video here. I'm trying to understand like how I can show this without being too dreary with it, right? Because like you kind of need the sheer amount of pieces here, but I also don't want to make it so that every single thing is just that boring. Like I guess this is where the characters come into play, you know, like if it can make the characters interesting and do interesting things. Faye for one will be trying to jump off by now, I imagine. Oh, scale issue. Everything is a scale issue. Have to do better than this. This scene might make more sense. The reason why I tilted this is the point of view, right? Like kind of like this one is here like this because it's interesting to have this sort of close up and this more sort of different angle. Because anytime we're outside, I think looking at buildings and stuff, the perspective is going to be a lot more tame, just right by virtue of that. But if you're entering an enclosed space, then there's an opportunity to have something more interesting, I suppose. Then this one, it's more like a point of view shot, right? Like I am climbing up the stairs and I'm seeing that there's more stairs. And the good thing about this scene is there's more space for buildings here. So the idea is that if we have more buildings on this side, they can be used as a point, like now as a reference, as a landmark for us as we go up higher. But I need to make the buildings recognizable enough right now. And I don't know how everyone else feel about these buildings. I mean, even to me, they look kind of the same, right? All of them look kind of the same. Although, I suppose if it's back to back, and they're very recognizable colors, for example, then it shouldn't be too big of a problem. Oh! Oh! Oh, I have the best idea ever. It's not really that great of an idea, but it's a great idea. It's a good idea. Oh. Let me think. It's about playing around with point of views, right? So for example... No, it's nothing special. It's nothing special. We might be overusing this throughout the entire series, I think. But right now, at least, like I'm thinking of the fact that we don't like. So I have my own point of view, right? I am me entering the stairs and all that. Then this one is like a piece where we're like, holy shit, you know, I'm over here, and then she's like, maybe someone's up here. Then I can have another piece from their point of view, from Ria's point of view. Oh, you know how that could work? Let's say like I am like from this camera angle, right? If people sort of see it as like me being over here and I'm seeing the rest of the scene. Makes sense. If let's say there's a landmark over here, I can have my next scene from Ria's point of view looking back down at us. And then there's like the stairs going back down and stuff like that, you know? And then the landmark is over here and then I'm over here. So it implies that in this time that I took to go from here to here, there is still much more beyond this. So rather than just having Ria's point of view be from this point, be from the X point, the X point is actually really tiny in this scene too. It's like that, right? Something like that. This would give me, I don't need as many pieces, but it still shows the scale of it. Like it shows the entire... But the only thing that is interesting is a gate though, along this entire path. Of course, there's some mountains and shit, but then it'll be a lot harder to recognize. The only thing here is a singular gate. Not to mention, it's not very interesting. I don't have like a good shot here, but maybe I can try to extrapolate in my head. Yeah, it's nothing here. Take me home, country roads. Oh, I see. How about this? How about? I need the view from Ria first. Oh wait, it's more than that. Oops. Oh, I can't even see the end of my goddamn photo. Holy shit. That was like over here. The buildings are here. Here. Yeah, the stairs is going forever and forever. Trees. It's a little bit blown out, but if I can get Alright, I have to extrapolate this a little bit more, a little bit higher. Or is it interpolate? I think it's in extrapolate. Anyways. So I can have the lamppost here, and I can have Ria here. So unfortunately, it wouldn't be set up with the X setup that I was talking about, I don't think. Because there's nothing recognizable in between here. It needs to be recognizable from both angles, I think is the problem. Like, it might be recognizable from one angle. Like, for example, over here, actually, this place is like a round kind of dome thing. And then it's got like glass, like one of those, like those squarish glass tiling. But it wouldn't be visible from the other direction, right? So like it's not very recognizable that way. But yeah, I was just thinking that I can have like myself here taking a photo on this side, and then we can have like a scene of that photo that I took, which I have it here. Which is just like the building kind of going up. There's like other stuff in the back. Really hard to see right now. I need to clean this up. This one, the square is here, and then the middle is darker. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. At the end of it, I still don't have like my top dead end yet. We haven't reached the dead end. Yeah, the dead end was very anticlimactic because basically the entire path was just a set of stairs, and it was very windy kind of road, kind of like this, but just more steep. And then at the top it's just fenced off, like it just kind of ends. Yeah, it's kind of boring. Yeah, not much to think about. I mean, a lot to think about. I'm just tired, I suppose, but I need. God. Not that. Why am I so stuck in here? What the hell am I? Wait, wasn't there an escalator here? I could have sworn there was like an escalator here. Surely there's an escalator here. This is when I went down the wrong path. Congrats. I went back the way I came. Oh, there are no escalators here. I thought there was one. Dang. Yeah, I wonder. Where's this target? 8? I'm just injecting random stuff now. I think some point phase probably gonna get too tired and needs to be carried. I don't know if this is too early in this whole thing. I'm just gonna put the idea out, and then when I balance everything from front to back, I think it'll be a little bit easier to adjust then. So right now, it's kind of hard to tell. Got my screen is still going crazy. I'm gonna start crying next. Holy shit. I'll be the one crying next. That's right. But crying would be nice, honestly. It'd be kind of cathartic. Relax a little bit. Call for termination, I think. Yeah, so the scaling is a scaling issue. I'm just gonna leave it. No point sketching it out because when it's time, I'll just do it then. And then there's the thing here, and then Faye is just gone. Everybody's like, where the hell is she? Where is she actually? Where would she be? Is there a place to sit here? Well, actually, yes. Actually, let me go forwards, bro. God damn it. No, it's less of like how to represent, but like rather what exactly is she doing? Like how to represent is not too big of a problem, I think. Oh, you mean like the windows, right? Yeah, I'm not too worried about the windows and stuff. Like those things we have to figure out, like the specific amount of details, like how tight the rendering is, how much detail to put in, this and that. That one we're not worried about it at this stage because that's gonna be a whole different can of worms. Currently, I'm just worried about the comms and telling stories. The thing is, the actual journey didn't have that many stories to tell, so we are trying to insert stuff in here. Yeah, having like Faye kind of be so drained at this stage, I think makes a lot of actual sense. Like going off of my own experience, if I haven't exercised for a really long time, you basically like start not being able to physically walk. Like no matter how much you want to walk, your legs are just completely jelly at some point. So it kind of makes sense. But I also don't want her to be completely carried the entire time. So I'm just going to try to... Oh, you know what's a really real moment? Because like, I feel like, you know, resting at rest spots makes a lot of sense, where people would rest when there's like a spot for you to rest, like a bench or something. But when you're really tired and you're really drained, you just kind of collapse on the spot. So it would be very real if it's like we're just kind of like chilling somewhere we're not really supposed to be chilling, like in the middle of the path, just because you simply cannot continue anymore, right? Like it's, you kind of have to take a moment. You're gonna have to take some time to chill out. So I'm wondering, like, while we're doing this shot here, where people are playing around with the trees, I'm just gonna have Faye like lay down on the side or something. And also, I was thinking whether if I should add in my other character, because technically she's gone. But like, what is exactly, like, it's not like the series here is canon. Like, it's not like canon in the original story, right? So it doesn't mean like the continuity must be maintained. And with how important that character is, I feel like she should have a part. And in actuality, the only one that wasn't there was Faye. So if Faye's in there, then everyone should be in there, no? But then because like the base story is not tied down either, everything is kind of up, undecided. What do, right? What do? It just feels there's no good way forwards. Having just Ria would be easier to draw less characters, but also less things to talk about and try to play around with. The entire journey would be quite boring. Yeah, having Faye is kind of important because she's kind of more interesting, I think. She's the only one whose personality is more mapped out. Ah, my last character. Whoa, I did it again. Everywhere you look, it's steps. Kind of insane. Wow, what the hell is this? Sketchy. Here's the parking garage. A garage. Oh god. Kind of tired. I'm just gonna walk around here. These are not areas that I've been, but I like how like this is. It's not like you are, like people are trying to be aesthetic with the Google Streetcar, but you have the orange and the blue. So nicely set up. Why is it so orange here? Is the building is orange or what? Hello, the virus. What the? Is this the top of the thing? Oh, am I in a different part of the Hong Kong now? It's gone, dude. Oh yeah, my grandma's house used to look like this. I mean, it still looks like this. Moss and like everything, like the entire building looks like it could collapse, and it would probably collapse because it's a brick building, which is kind of insane. But yeah. More stairs, dude. Pretty sure this is the way I went up. It's really hard to click for some reason. What the hell? Where am I? That was the path I never took. I took this one. What? Oh. Super secret. It's like a secret thing here. Is that on the map? No, it's on the map. Where are there no people? I don't know. Like, I guess it's the time of day. I imagine like in the morning and in the evening, people are getting on and off work. There should be a lot of people working. Oh, that reminds me. When I was there that day, I saw a guy in full suit just walking up the damn thing like he was going back home. Like going to work. I imagine he's going back home. Actually, was he walking up and down? I don't remember. But I remember thinking to myself, this is really insane, dude. Like, if you're wearing a suit, like you kind of have to be in office. I imagine you're working in an office, you know? But to do this every day, you're gonna be so sweaty in the summer. Like, do you have a change of clothes? Like, you're gonna stink for the entire day. Being all sweaty and shit. Like, oh my god, dude. It's kind of insane that people... But, like, it's insane, though. Like, this entire place is crazy. Like, look at how aesthetic everything is. Like, is this not better than nature? Like, how is nature better than this shit? Like, imagine like how much work and engineering and and effort it takes to set all these things up on like the hillside. The calculations and the foundations and like making sure that things don't collapse, you know, this and that. Finding areas for all these green spaces. Otherwise, it's just a huge mess of jungle. Like, how is this? Like, dude, stop looking at trees, man. Go touch some concrete and bricks. No, they're not building the hills, right? But they have to build into the hills. They have to work with the terrain. They have to work with the challenges. It's about like humans overcoming challenges right here. This cannot be easy, right? This cannot be easy to do. Not in the beginning, at least. Once the roads and infrastructure is there, I'm sure it's a lot easier then. But in the beginning, dude, like all the plumbing, like think of all the underground stuff they have to set up for all these number of people to be supported. The amount of engineering it requires to pump water this high up above the water table. There's literally a pump right there. Like, where was it? There's like a pump right here, I think. Reservoir playground? What does that mean? Yeah, like all these infrastructure buildings that no one ever looks at. Like, it's insane the amount of engineering that goes into making sure everything works. There's a lot of people to support. And then when they plan for it, they plan for everybody flushing at the same time or something. So they have to get all the pipes and stuff. Pretty well done. No power substations though. I don't know how power is going up. I guess it's just going through the underground under the path there, as per usual, I guess. Dang, this amount of density, like it's... Can you play GeoGuessr in Hong Kong? Do you have to have an account? That's so lame, dude. H-I-J... Okay, where the bloody hell are we? Holy shit, this looks like Taiwan to me. This is so hard, dude. Can they at least put it in the city? Oh my god. Where do we go, guys? Oh my god. Maybe it's like here. Oh, okay. Just the opposite side of the country. Thank you. I guess by area, you're gonna end up in a lot more of these areas rather than not. Yeah, replace everything with concrete, dude. Wait, it's right next to the other thing. Oh, look at that. Look at that view, broski. Looks nice and quiet too. It's not like in the middle of like the city or something. Why does it look like... What? Someone took an airbrush here or something? Like, what is this? How do you even do this if you wanted to? Like, it looks so even here. At this scale? That's a giant airbrush. Okay, I don't know if I'm insane or like I'm sure like Mia's gonna tell me like all the buildings look the same, and they do look the same, but this is very exciting to me for some reason. Can I not go there anymore? Where the hell am I? Oh right, I'm supposed to guess. I kind of forgot. I thought this was Google Maps. What are we seeing here? There's like nothing, right? Oh wait, that's a big clue. So it's like are we facing north or south though? Supposedly you can do trigonometry with the shadow, and you can figure out exactly which part of the Earth or which hemisphere and this and that or something. I can't remember what the thing was, but so this is where the rest of the city is, right? We can kind of see on the side there. So either that way looking here, and then we're seeing that, or this way looking there, and then we're seeing this, maybe? Wait, what? Could it be somewhere else? It could even be somewhere else. Couldn't it be here too? Oh wait, that's Disneyland, never mind. Probably not the oil depot. Resort. I don't know, maybe here? Maybe here even. Doesn't feel like it. I don't know. I'm pretty close, I guess. It doesn't... What? So we're here. That means we're seeing these guys here? So these things, what? How do I go back to the... I guess you can't go back. Anyways, what is this? Nice, dude. The fuck is this? Anyways, but for some reason, the raw concrete with no paint looks good there, almost natural with nature. Actually, where was the Kowloon walled city? I actually don't know where it is. Because I think, yeah, they replaced it with something. Oh, it's actually, I see, it's all the way here. Oh, just two dudes chilling over here. Holy shit. It's a garden now? I would like to go there, for sure. Which way am I going, dude? Which way am I supposed to be going? What it called? What? Look at this place. Like, what the heck? What am I looking at? Is that the foundations after it's been torn down? No, that's a cemetery. What? That's a park then. Oh, it's over here. Over here. What does it look like? What? It's kind of random. Hang on. What? Why am I so low? Am I not supposed to be on the path? I thought I'm on the path. Alright, here. Boring. Oh my god, no building. So boring. Wow. What do people even come here for? Oh my god. Yeah, sad to say, I really don't like I really just like flat concrete building. I just like this shit. That's all I wanted. I don't care about like all these freaking ornaments and designs and all that. Just give me blocks of concrete. Actually, like one of the best things I've ever held in my hand is literally a solid block of metal. It's meant for jewelry working. So it's just a dense piece of metal. But it felt so nice. It's just a square. Just a cube. Dang, dude. Also, I'm not drawing anymore. I'm so tired recently. It's been kind of hard to sleep, and it has a bit of a spillover effect into everything else. Even if I try to go to bed earlier, it's not really helping. So I burn out quite a lot faster nowadays. At these 2 days, I'ma just kind of chill. Yeah, I'm still kind of excited looking at all these things. I don't know why. Like, there's nothing here, dude. There's literally nothing here but this shit on and on and on and on. It's like a bajillion times better than Japan in this regard. For some reason, Hong Kong is just a cyberpunk night city. Right. Apparently, those signs are all removed now because they're put up without like proper inspection of like how they're put up so they can fall. They're put out without caring about the power draw and consumption, so things can catch on fire. So like apparently a lot of it is gone now. Like the streets don't light up anymore. And they're saying how like Taiwan kind of looks like what the old Hong Kong aesthetics look like, because Taiwan still has those places. Actually, I don't know where like what streets they are, like neon Hong Kong neon light show neon signs. Like, does it show me? Oh, it's trying to sell me neon signs. Okay. But surely the places that sell neon signs, you know, like have neon signs. Yeah, like all these are like gone. Look at how clean this is now. 2024. Well, maybe they didn't have it in the first place, but I feel like they would have had it here. Okay, these streets here look more boring. I wonder why. Maybe it's the grit nature of it. Because like once it's grit, like it's very ironic, right? I'm saying I like square shit, and I'm complaining about square shit. But you know, so I guess I want nature, but I don't want the green part of the nature. I want the windy road part of nature. I wonder what's it like living here. Like you're just like what, above like the busiest intersection in like the area, and then is it noisy? Is it dusty? Is it convenient? What is with this overhang? Actually, this reminds me of like this one crazy building in Japan now. Shit, can I find it? I was visiting a friend like that I met online, and they are actually a when I met them, they were like a PhD candidate, and then by the time I went to Japan, they already graduated and they were operating as a like a research assistant kind of assistant professor kind of position in the university, and then we tried to go and find her. And it was really late at night, and I forgot which path it was, man. Like, there's somewhere here. I walked this path, and there was this interesting, like, continuously very long, horizontally very wide building, and it had like, even though it's like one continuous structure, right? You can see them physically being connected, but like it's like 3 different designs for some reason, and I don't know where which one we went to. Because if I just drop in here, they're all gonna look the same to me. None of these streets are gonna look any different. Definitely not that one though. How many campuses do they have even? Looks like they're all kind of here, right? I was like walking home with my friend from the university at like 8 p.m. I remember it's kind of dark, and then I think we passed by like let me see, is there Abra Soba here? It's a couple here, so it might be this path then. Nope, it's not. This is way too residential. It's like very tall buildings. Anyways, I'm sure I have photos somewhere. It's just uploaded from my phone already, so I can't. If not, I can check the before after and can try to get a sense of the direction. But otherwise, this might not even be the right campus. I don't know how many campuses there are, but what the updates from customers? This is a university, sir. Update from customers. Nice. I don't remember what train station we got on either. Yeah, this place looks so, like, not big building enough. Anyways, what did we even do today? I kind of need that. Let me just keep this here. Just a few more designs, like a few more comps. I think we're slowly chugging along here. Like over here, I think? No, I didn't even do anything for that. So like just like these. So today I think is more of like just a discovery of like how to tell the story with the illustrations, because we don't want to have too many frames like a manga, but we don't want to have too little frames where things get too disjointed, where like the viewer would not know what we're looking at. Like if you're a local, you can probably see the path. But if you're not a local, for most people, it's gonna be kind of confusing, right? So if we can, for example, tell stories by saying like 2 pillars here, and then people can recognize it's the pillar here, perhaps. Maybe they think it's this, maybe they don't think it is. But either way, we have Faye here and Faye here. It should be clear enough. Then the path going up, we have Lyria up front. And then this construction red thing is gonna be this part here, and then people can see like the path that we took, right? That's kind of the idea for today. Just like a series of illustrations. And then try to set it up that way with the stairs as well. Alright, the idea that we want to have like a lot of repetitive, sort of boring areas, quote unquote, like where it's just stairs and climbing and moving. But even though it's boring, we can spice it up with characters and what they're doing. And it sort of forces people to be like invested in the journey, because as you're reading through this, even though it's just a second of looking at the illustration, it will feel like you're on this journey. And then when you hit the dead end, maybe people will feel more like what I actually felt when I hit the dead end at the end of the path. And then double back. So that's kind of the idea. I didn't draw too much today, just a couple of scenes. I guess we only expanded on like really just 2 scenes here. And of course, like the more I'm going through this, the more I realize it's not going to be 20 illustrations, right? It might be close to like 40 or 50 at this rate, at the rate that we're going, because multiple scenes from each point I think might be necessary, because otherwise it really is just like that one scene. Otherwise, think about it like this, right? Like the important points of the journey is when I hit the dead ends, like one of the important points. Then if I'm hitting dead ends back to back to back, it would be kind of stupid. Like it's really hard from the viewer's point of view, because all you'll be seeing is me getting stuck at some point. But it wouldn't necessarily feel like a dead end because there was no journey in the first place, because every single piece is already so disjointed. So I don't think there's a way around this. Like you kind of have to have a journey for the dead end to have an effect. So there is that. But at least I think like for the first like up to the climax, right? Up to a climax of 20, we kind of have some stuff for most of the points already. Then now it's like the journey back down. And then once we have like a rough idea for each one, I'm gonna list them out in a series, right? We're gonna go down this path, and then I'm just gonna try and see it. And hopefully I can fix some stuff along the way. That would be the plan, I think. Probably for the rest of the week, it would just still be just thumbnails, I think, at the rate that we're going. It'll take a while. Yeah, and then various verification checks, various expansion of character development ideas. But then once the thumbnails are done, like that is a huge step forwards, because then the story is locked in, then all of the thinking part should be done. Colors and stuff will be a lot easier to play with. But yeah, we're on our way. I feel like slow and steady steps. It's one of those things where the journey is a little bit too long. Like the making of the series is a bit too grand of a plan that it's kind of hard to gauge how far along the plan like I am. So the only thing I can do is to just look at what we're doing. Kind of like the stream, 365 stream. Oh, 365 by the way. Interesting. Not as funny number as like 420 and 69, I suppose, but and 67. But 365 streams, man. Once a day for like an entire year. It's taken us a year and a half to do so. Which, if you think about it, it's kind of insane. Because, yeah, like it's like not that much long. It's kind of longer, I guess. Year and a half. So. Yeah, I hate nature. Look at all these concrete. Look at all these square concrete, mind you. Not even like interesting concrete. We're not talking about like fancy art sculptures or like some weird architect somewhere, you know, taking LSD and then coming out with some random stupid shapes, but squares. And only squares. The occasional diagonal braces. The occasional overhangs. The occasional windows. Actually, windows are a pretty core part of it. I can't deny. But the occasional fences, you know. Like, oh my god, this is so aesthetic. But this one is aesthetic because there is nature too. I mean, I'm shitting on nature, but nature is pretty core part of the whole thing. The fact that everything is so integrated together. And without nature, I guess the buildings will look maybe too boring. I like too consistent, right? Because there's always contrast. But still, the buildings take center stage. The man-made like objects and planning, setting up these bus stops in this fashion with this specific design, this color on the roof and the color on the railings. The fencing along the path here, and yeah, like this, everything is... My god. Yeah. Dang, I'm kind of... Anyways, I guess I'll hop off here. Slow, steady progress. I mean, as long as we're making progress, it's fine. This is also like a separate experiment, I think, in the process itself, because I'm trying to see if I like how long it takes to decay. So there's two problems. Like there's always two challenges, like two things to handle when it comes to inspirations. One thing is decay. Like the intensity of the inspiration would naturally go down over time. The other thing is corruption, where the idea gets muddied as you're painting. So either because your lack of execution skills, or because like some other ideas start coming in and interfering with this one. And usually decay is the bigger problem because it decays so fast. Like it takes like a couple hours or like 1 or 2 days before the idea just fades off. Corruption isn't a big problem. Corruption only comes in when like I am executing on the idea and the lack of skill causes like a bit of a muddiness in the feelings and the vibes that I want to portray. But for this one, this journey, it's been pretty good so far. The decay is not necessarily that noticeable. Today, I think I'm just too tired. But once I get into the groove of talking about the characters and the ideas, it all comes back to me pretty quick still. And corruption is not quite a thing just yet, because we're not executing on anything that's too difficult. The requirements are not high enough for me to have an issue with it. So yeah, we'll see how long this takes. But yes, thank you, Duvay. The top one is interesting because interesting camera angles, right? But we'll try our best to do a bunch of different angles and stuff. Some of the clumps, like some of the scenes I would like to zoom in on character faces and just show their emotions and stuff. There will probably be one with Faye crying, just because she's not very good at climbing. But yeah, anyways, I'll hop up here for today. Thank you guys for coming and listening to me rant again and again and again. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye. Good night.